decrepit, demeaning. These are perfect words to describe the work environment that the Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, met when he assumed office in 2016.
This complex was designed and most of it constructed almost 40 years ago. So the decay started quite a while ago. So what we need to do is go back to the drawing boards very quickly, begin a process of instant rehabilitation of some of the offices. We need a total overhaul, not only of cleaning, the entire process. Security, how this place is secured. You could see squatters, you see traders, kiosks all over the place. That in itself creates insecurity for people working here. So we're going to look at the entire gamut, from ensuring that this place is properly fenced, that we have a power system rather than each ministry or having a generating set. We need to create an efficient system that powers the secretariat, the entire complex, ensure that they have water, ensure that the place is properly cleaned, and ensure that you have control in terms of access of who comes here, and that government documents or government property that's kept here is made safe.
In the years that followed, he envisioned and pursued a radical transformation program that has today bequeathed Edo with the most advanced public service in Nigeria. However, it must be noted that the most radical changes transform societies for the better or worse. So when a leader comes into power with a vision to cause seismic change in a system, it is bound to be met with some resistance. The resoluteness, clarity of purpose, and willpower to push through reforms is often what sets a leader apart from his contemporaries. In 2016, when Governor Godwin Obaseki came into office, he was met with this dilemma. Aside from other systemic faults, one sore point that stood in the way of change for the then new governor was the defective engine of government.
You and I know that no system runs without people. It's people that drive a system. And the bureaucracy is the basis on which governance rests. Without a strong bureaucracy anywhere in the world, nothing happens. But we have a long way to go, because we have to reenact the service, understand, re-establish the fundamental principles on which the bureaucracy runs. Which first, accountability, making sure you have proper records, you have proper processes and procedures with the way the service works.
Not only was the work environment chaotic, workers were ill-motivated, poorly remunerated, unproductive, insecure, and lacked basic work tools for optimal service delivery. For a governor that had lofty visions of transforming the work culture and attracting local and foreign investment, this was a stumbling block. The old system was hectic and an eyesore. Civil and public servants were exposed to the elements and worked in hideous spaces. Governor Obaseki therefore set to work to fix the government bureaucracy and to arrive at what eventually became Nigeria's most ambitious reform of the public service, resulting in making Edo the first state to become fully paperless with a slew of breathtaking service-wide reforms.
The governor has been very clear about what he intends to do and has been doing in the civil and public service of Edo State. It is to take the service to a point where the service can function optimally and be able to serve as that instrument of government through which government delivers quality governance.
The reforms have dramatically changed the face of public service in Nigeria, as it touched on all aspects of the service, helping to instill a new work culture and drive needed institutional reforms. The work environment was also transformed with massive investment in upgrading physical structures, improved working tools, and better job security, assured by merit-based employment and promotions.
People are recognized for hard work. People are given recognition for what they have done, not necessarily because of who they know. Like, for example, my becoming GM of EBS, I wasn't expecting it. In fact, the governor didn't know me. Yeah, I'm very sure he didn't know me. But I was recommended based on the work I had done prior. I had served in some committees, I had done some work, some administrative work, and so I was sent here to practicalize what I had learned and what they had seen me do prior to that time. They felt I was capable of, managing this place. Not because of anybody I knew, not because the governor knew, because he didn't know me. I'm a very good case, and that meritocracy has been, put above who you know.
The results from these reforms are not far-fetched, as the state is arguably the best and most sought-after subnational for workers in the country. The workers attest to these reforms and its impact in their daily lives and also in their career trajectory.
What we used to have before now is just going through a process, and at the end of the process you retire. But now what we have is you have an opportunity to have yourself developed. We have relevant trainees that do come up on, sometimes on quarter basis, sometimes on even almost regular basis, depending on the nomination that you have in your respective MDAs. So now these trainees, help to expose you further. Apart from academically, it exposes you with respect to your work, your job, and it also propels you for the future beyond the civil and the public service.
The John Oyegun Public Service Academy was set up by His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki to strengthen public service institutions through capacity building. His Excellency argues that the civil and public service is the engine of government, and if we want government to function as it should, where it delivers the best of democracy to its citizens, then we must have, as a matter of urgency, he adds, have a skilled workforce. And we've trained over 10,000 civil and public servants in courses like Introduction to Public Policy, Fundamentals of Public Policy, Fundamentals of Project Management. We've had things around conflict management. We've had training, technical skills training. We've had in this facility, soft skills training, leadership training as well. Last week, we took on change management, where we are insisting that mindsets must change so that we can move to the future that we all desire. So yes, it's been a very impactful year, whether it's the number of people trained or the impact that the training has had on the people that we've trained. Recently, someone visited Edo from Lagos, and he was commending the service that he had just by going to our secretariat, whether it's how the building looked or even how the people that he was interacting with, top government officials were interacting with him. He found that very new, he said, especially given how government runs in Nigeria. So I think for me, it's the reorientation around mindset, is the approach to work. There's a changing work culture. I remember when I first came here, someone was very quick to tell me that they close at 2 p.m. But these days, you would typically find civil servants still sitting down at work and producing good work even after 5 o'clock. In doing the training at Jukes, we would bring these facilitators from all over the world. We brought somebody from Norway, we brought facilitators from the US, and they will come to Edo, they will do it in our facility. So think about it, the only thing we're spending on is bringing those facilitators to us, as opposed to taking all our 10,000 workers, putting them on the plane to go and learn. So I think that we have saved the government nothing shy of over 70% of the previous cost that we would typically use to run training.
The governor at the commissioning of the Labour House in Benin City in April 2024 announced a 70,000 minimum wage for workers in Edo State, an increase of about 75%.
For us in Edo State, we have decided that we will move minimum wage effective May 1 to 70,000 naira.
It was a new record that showed an unwavering commitment to workers' welfare. At the onset, Governor Obaseki knew what he wanted, and he went about it in a clinical fashion. Today, Edo is not only the envy of other states, it has emerged as a pace-setter, showing the way in how best to cause positive change in government while carrying the people along. The verdict is out on the quality of service in the state, as evidenced by improved productivity, and the ever-increasing jostle for space in the state by investors, who are assured of speedy processes and optimal service. While radical changes have been recorded in all other sectors, one of the things Governor Obaseki would surely be remembered for is his unwavering drive to transform the engine of government to make Edo a first world economy with resounding success.